we get started, I want to say thank you to a few of the members of the Watkins Mill High School classes of 1997 and 1998 that I was able to get in touch with. They helped me clarify a few details of the story. Not only that, but they were able to fill me in on a few details that I was unaware of at the time. It was agreed by all that while I changed a few details here and there, it's funnier the way I tell it. And in one case, details had to be changed in order to make it believable. That being said, welcome back to Radical Responses. This time it's not a response to some other YouTuber's video or major political event. Nope, this is a radical response to a smell. You know, they say smell is the sense most tied to memory. It goes beyond vision and even sound when it comes to activating some primal portion of our lizard brain. And let me tell you, the scent that triggered all this, it stinks. But the memories it brought back are a little sweet, a little sour, and to be frank, a little embarrassing. You see, I was riding on the bus down by this fish mart in Rockville not too long ago, and my nose was blasted by this stench. One I'd encountered many years ago. One that had threatened to destroy my entire high school, kill all life for hundreds of miles, and I swear I'm not exaggerating, undo the building blocks of what primitive three-dimensional brains call reality. It's hard to say where to begin with this story. Unlike fiction, real beginnings are hard to find. But I guess this is as good a place as any. When I was in middle school, I had a friend. At lunchtime, we ate nothing but tasty cakes and brownies from the cafeteria. This went on for months. Well, until word got to our teacher, who passed it along to my mom. I told her I would eat other cafeteria food, but it tasted like shit. Well, I didn't say shit because, believe it or not, I didn't start swearing like a sailor until I got to college. I just told her the cafeteria pizza made Elio's taste like it came from the Chicago-style place that I loved. I told her about the moldy bread and dried meat on the ham sandwiches. I explained that shop class should teach us how to build things out of the grilled cheese sandwiches. But she didn't listen. My mom had our teacher watch me to make sure I got a real lunch. But a week or so later, we had Parents' Day. Parents would come to the middle school to observe us in class. There would be a matinee of a school play, or a concert, or the art show, or something like that. I might not have been a fan of salty talk at that age, but I could be a sadistic little child. I went back to my habits of eating 2 chocolate juniors, a can of fruit punch, and my just to say it's healthy apple. But I made my parents go to the regular lunch line. My mom didn't believe my horror stories about cafeteria food. Not until my dad ordered the grilled cheese sandwich, the only option for a lacto-ovo vegetarian at a middle school cafeteria back in 1994. He just about chipped his tooth on it. So after a year of begging, I convinced my mom to go back to packing my lunch. But this isn't even the story I wanted to tell. This is the fucking backstory. You see, my friend wasn't that lucky. He wasn't subsisting entirely on brownies and fruit punch because he wanted to. He would gladly eat the cafeteria's dog shit if he could afford to. His mom gave him $6 a week because that's what she could afford. If he bought a real lunch, he'd be able to eat only 2 days a week. But what do you do when your best friend is in trouble? Easy. I just flat out lied to my mom. I told her that my packed lunch should be 2 sandwiches, 2 slots for Hostess snacks, 2 cans of fruit punch. Now that might seem like an excessive amount of food, and it was, and at least in those days I didn't eat that much. Every day I went to school and I gave my friend my second sandwich and one of my drinks. I'm not 100% altruistic. All those cupcakes were for me. It turned out that's the only part my mom didn't know about. She knew I was giving more or less half my lunch to my friend. She just didn't care. But that's not the story I wanted to tell either. No, the story I wanted to tell involves a sex scandal, forgetfulness, the first day of school, forgetfulness, the last day before winter break, Donald Duck, forgetfulness, a locker, and an unholy Lovecraftian horror. You see, the same friend followed me into the special ed program in high school. But his mom had gotten a much better job and had gotten out from under the weight of some of her financial problems that summer. So my mom didn't know if she should pack 2 lunches for me anymore or not. So on the first day of school she did, just to be on the safe side. My friend's more stable income meant he didn't need that extra lunch anymore. My mom brought a whole bunch of tuna fish sandwiches the start of the week. Most of the time that's what I wanted. A plain old tuna sandwich, no veggies. She could just put 2 out the night before and lunch would be ready to go. Another problem. On that first day of school, one of the sandwiches hadn't thawed. I blame Montgomery County Public Schools for making our lunch period 10:30 a.m. But I put my second lunch in my locker thinking I could get back to it later. At the end of the day, I had to race back to get my bus. I was in such a hurry that I sort of forgot about it. To make matters worse, the next day my mom packed me another lunch. No extra sandwich this time. I didn't need the one in my locker, so out of sight, out of mind. About a week later, a strange stench started coming from the basement of B quarter hallway. Since it was close to the art room, people mistook it for the smell of paint or other chemicals that hadn't been stored properly. Most people got used to it. Others did their best to ignore it. Meanwhile, I was having transportation troubles. Unlike regular buses, the special ed drivers had to visit each and every house, so it took forever to get everyone. My bus was consistently late. The other special ed buses didn't have this problem, but mine did. On those rare occasions when the check-in desk didn't have to give us hall passes, it was considered a cause for celebration. 2 weeks in, our bus driver rearranged his pickup order to improve his time. But it didn't work. It wasn't until much later that I found out the reason. A sophomore, a second or third time sophomore no less, on my bus was banging the bus driver. And so was her mom. That much I know for a fact, but I've heard rumors about some pretty kinky but consensual stuff going on with that trio. Between getting to school in the last 3 minutes of homeroom and sometimes even 2 to 5 minutes into first period, plus my locker being on the other side of the building from anywhere that I had any reason to go, well, I forgot about it. I never used it. My backpack was a supermassive black hole. Every textbook for every class and my reading binder, with whatever book I was reading for fun, my Dungeons and Dragons manuals, some comic books, and Tootsie Rolls were stashed away in there. At the beginning of the semester, it was easy to carry. But as each class assigned more work, my binder got bigger and bigger and bigger. When fully loaded at the end of the semester, the sack of cloth weighed so much that it might as well have had the words, "Whoever holds this backpack, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor" written on it in ancient Asgardian incantations. But as I was figuring this out, things around me were changing. The smell in the hallway kept getting worse and worse and worse. Rats, which tended to stay near the cafeteria or the home economics room, were seen crawling in and out of several lockers near this bog of eternal stench. Disinfectant sprays and air fresheners were dropped on the floor on a daily basis. $50, says one of the janitors was thinking to himself. I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. One of the funniest things I've heard is that people were taking bets on the origin of the stench. I've already mentioned the leaky paint theory. Other people thought it was a problem with the gas line. Companies will add this sort of sulfury, rotten egg smell to make leaks more detectable. Other people thought we had a black mold problem. But that didn't seem too likely. The school was built in 1989. This was only the fall of 1994. 5 years into service didn't seem long enough for that sort of thing. Other people thought that it was just somebody's gym shorts with a really nasty skid mark. October came, and with it came the homecoming game, the Halloween masquerade ball. The stench remained. Time went onward to November. There were tryouts for the winter play, athletics competitions, chess tournaments. Taking care of the smell became a huge issue in the student government balance, yet the toxic fumes remained long after Turkey Day. December rolled around. People were walking in their winter wonderlands, going ice skating after school one last time before finals. And the horrible odor, at this point, smelling like someone murdered their entire family in an enclosed space, was still there. When all hope seemed lost, there came a moment of destiny. What people tend to call the pointless day of school. You know the one. Finals are over, winter break is yet to begin. You already know if your report card is going to be one of those ones where you get a little bit of spending cash from your folks and a free video rental from Blockbuster, or if you'll be spending the next semester as a member of the Breakfast Club. It was the day teachers have nothing to teach and no clue what to do. In most classes, this meant playing some kind of game or putting on a movie, which is fine, save for the fact that I've seen the same Donald Duck cartoon at least twice a year in every goddamn math class from second grade up until my senior year. During homeroom on the pointless day of school, there came a reckoning. Locker cleanout day. My bus driver was really horny the last day before winter break. He was going to be separated from 2 of his 3 lovers for about 2 weeks, so you can't really blame the guy. I mean, I could, since it was 20 minutes into first period by the time I got to school, but whatever else you say about the pastor, he did spare me from another viewing of Donald Duck in Magic Land. For that, I am eternally grateful. I can't fully speak to what happened. If you weren't at locker cleanout, someone used the master key to open it for you. What I can tell you is that after it was all said and done, the smell was gone. Those who spoke of it all said the same thing. There was a locker with nothing in it, save for a paper bag chewed into microscopic bits of confetti by rats, shredded tinfoil scattered to the 4 winds of hell, and a moldy, half-eaten tuna sandwich, no veggies. If you like this story and want to hear me tell more like them, leave a comment. I'd be more than happy to do a few more of these low-key videos in between movie reviews and other things. Well, see you next time, folks.